Before we get to tonight's project, I want to give a reminder that the standard size Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is available for sale, for purchase on my website. And if you purchase this with me this month, the month of September, what do we have, about 14 days left, you can choose any embossing folder of your choice. It can be from these 2 pages in our annual catalog, and there are also some in our holiday catalog. So you get your choice of a free embossing folder when you purchase the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine from me this month. What other announcements do I have? Oh, I want to draw your attention to this. This is going to be, hopefully, my typical schedule, Facebook Live schedule for each week. And I'm going to do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays now. This seems to be working out a little bit better, so I'm going to hang on to that. Hold on, I want to put another light on. There. So just so you know, the time on Friday kind of depends on what my week is like. So that's why I give you 2 options. Okay, and another reminder, I have this wonderful class to go. It involves lots of products, over $40 worth of product, including the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper, the sequins for everything. You get a full pack of each of those. You're going to get a full pack of window sheets, and you will get a full pack of the foam adhesive strips that we use to make our shaker cards. So you're going to, with that kit, you're going to make 2 Christmas, 2 Halloween, and 2 love or Valentine's Day, anniversary, that sort of thing. But the 2 for each holiday will be slightly different. Okay, but here's an example of one of each. And then you'll also get directions to make these fun slimline cards, as well as all the products to make one of each of these slimline cards. So please consider purchasing the Festive Corners, Shaker Cards, and More class to go. I think you'll really enjoy it. A number of people have already purchased, and you just have a few more days left to purchase that. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this fun fold card. It's called a Trifold shutter card. A Trifold shutter card. Now, this is what it looks like from the top. This is the back side. I added some white cardstock if somebody wants to write a message, but you could also put white cardstock here and put your message on the front. Either way, it works well. So let me show you how to make this. It probably looks somewhat intimidating, but once you've done 1 or 2, you're going to have it down pat, and you'll enjoy making these. Here's a little something I'll show you just for now. I made myself a little cheat sheet. It's not as difficult at what it looks like on paper, because I'm going to show you step by step how to do this. Okay. And then later on this week, I will have a blog post, and I will have the diagram and all the information there as well. But until then, you can view the video replay if you are in a hurry to make this Trifold shutter card. So I'm going to set this over here for now, out of the way. I pre-cut my pieces because there's a lot involved, and I wanted to make sure I had everything cut accurately. Okay, so you're going to start with a regular size sheet of cardstock, 8.5 by 11. the first thing you want to do is cut off 1/2 inch. And I've got it in the horizontal position or landscape position, and you want to cut off a 1/2 inch. Okay. My next step is to turn it to the vertical position and cut it at 5.5 inches. So when you make this, the height is our standard size in North America, the United States. It's 5.5 inches high. However, it's a little bit narrower. Most of our cards are 5.5 by 4 1/4. This one is 5.5 by, looks like 3.5. Okay, so it is narrower, but then it opens up to be fabulous. Okay, now I have this piece that I've cut 5.5 by 10.5 inches. Anybody who's watching, if you would hit share right now, I would appreciate it so much. We might get some people jumping on to watch the demonstration and hopefully get some new followers to my business page. So I have 5.5 by 10.5 inches. Now comes the scoring. With my cardstock in the horizontal position, I'm going to, and make sure I get the right blade, use my scoring blade and score at 1 3/4 inches, 3.5 inches, 7 inches, and 8 3/4 inches. Oh, I'm seeing some names I haven't seen on here for a while. I'm so happy about that. Welcome to all of you. And I'm happy you're here. And again, please share the live video. Now, so I've made 4 score lines, 1 3/4, 3.5, 7 inches, and 8 3/4. Now you might hear my voice getting a little bit louder because for the next step, I'm going to make 2 cuts, but I'm standing over it so I can see more clearly. What I'm going to do is make a cut from the first score line to the last score line. And I'm going to do it 1.5 inches from the top and 1.5 inches from the bottom. Okay. So I'm again from the first score line to the bottom score line. Now what I'm going to do, since I want to start my cut at that score line, I'm looking at, and it's probably hard for you to see on the video, but if you have the Stampin' trimmer, or most trimmers even will have some kind of marking that shows you exactly where the point of the blade lands. So on this case, on our Stampin' Up! Paper cutter, there's a line on each side of the cutting blade. So that's the reason I'm standing up to do this step, is I want to make sure I have that line right over the line on my cutting blade, right over the score line. And I'm going to push it down and score to the bottom score line. Let me move this so you can see it. So again, I have the line on that blade, the cutting blade, showing me where the point end will land. And I want to take it all the way to the last score line. So this is what I have. Now I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to move this so you can see the whole thing. By the way, did you know that where this white panel or white grid meets the brown plastic, that's exactly 1.5 inches. So when I'm making a 1.5 inch cut, I can measure it on this side because I know that's right where the 1.5 inch line is. Just a little extra tidbit for the Stampin' Up! Paper cutter. And again, I'm only going down to that bottom score line. So this is what I have now, okay? I'm going to set my paper cutter aside, and now we're going to do some folding. So that first flap, you're going to fold. And then the last flap, you're going to fold in the opposite direction, okay? If you do it like this Z-fold, this will kind of help guide you the rest of the way, because then on the top and bottom, the folds are going to be the opposite. So here I'm folded, the fold is up, here the score line, I'm going to fold it down. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. And then this gets folded the opposite way. The middle section gets folded the opposite direction as the top and bottom. Do you see that? And then the same thing on the other side. And I think it's easiest just to do it this way before you really use your bone folder for the other pieces, just to make sure you have everything in the correct direction before you score those lines, really burnish those lines hard. So this is what it looks like from the top. I hope you can see that well. Okay, here's from the front. So the key here is to fold the long score lines first in opposite directions. And then all the smaller score lines, you continue to fold in the opposite direction. So it makes that zigzag, with the middle panel being the opposite as the top and bottom. Okay? Everybody good with that? All right, you'll be able to go back and review this video at any time on this business page or on stampinpiece.com later this week when I post it to my blog. And there I will have step-by-step directions as well written out for you along with all the dimensions. So this is just a diagram of what I've done so far with these 3 steps. The next step is to add designer series paper. Now I'm going to suggest that you use at least 3 different designer series papers like I did here. Okay, I've chosen 3 different designer series papers that coordinate. You can use 4 and you can use 5 because there are 5 different sections that we're going to cover. But for tonight, I'm going to keep it easy and work with the 3 designer series papers, okay? And you can see that with each section, I tell you how many you need to cut, as well as the width and the height of each piece. All righty. So first of all, I have my A pieces. I have 2 of those that measure 1.5 inches by 5 1/4. I have my B, letter B pieces that measure 8.5, or I'm sorry, 8.5, 1.5 by 1 1/4. And those are going to go there. Then I have my letter C pieces. Those are 3 1/4 by 1 1/4. So it's kind of like putting a puzzle together. And I'm using the same designer series paper for my letter D pieces as I did for C, but this might be a place where you want to change it up, or maybe you want these 2 pieces to match the longer ones, can be whatever you like. Or you might introduce an entirely new designer series paper here. And, oh, I said 3, but we're going to make it 4. So this could be the 4th designer series paper. Now, if you prefer to have this space open for writing a message, you can use the whisper white right there, or any neutral, or you can put some white on the back like I did here. Okay. If not, you can introduce another piece of designer series paper there. Look how pretty that one is. It doesn't quite match with my card base, but that's okay. So when you're working with lots of different designer series papers, different patterns and colors and things like that, I'm going to suggest that you just, before you start adhering anything, cut all your pieces and then lay them out like this. Because that way, if you don't like something, you can change it, okay? You can flip the paper over. I don't even know what's on the back here. Nope, that doesn't go. Or you can change it out, or you might say, well, for the center, I'd rather have this bright pattern and put it out there. So put it together, lay it out, and then adhere everything, okay? So that's what we're going to do right now, is adhere all these pieces of designer series paper. And I just kind of like to go in order when I do this with my little chart, you know, pieces A, B, C, D, E. Just makes it easier for me. And I tend not to get mixed up. But I think if you lay the pieces out like this, it's very helpful, rather than having them in a little pile beside you. Now, the little pieces are letter B pieces. One thing I like to watch when I'm putting this all together also is obviously the spacing within each section, the spacing around my designer series paper, but I also want to look along the bottom and the top to make sure that I have things lined up. Like, you're going to notice if they're all lined up and one is off at the top. You don't want that happening, okay? So just kind of pay attention to that. So you have all of your designer series papers even along the top and bottom. Because if you have those even, everything's going to work out perfectly. Everything will look even if something might end up being off slightly, because nothing's perfect, right? We do our best. These long, quiet pauses when I'm trying to be so careful to get everything in the right place. And if you like, I can walk you through the steps of scoring and cutting the base again while I'm still live, if you like. If you have any questions about it. Okay, so now I've got all that done. Just looks like a nice puzzle. Everything's lined up and centered in their sections. And now I'm just going to fold back. And you might need to give it a little gentle help to start, since we had it all laid out flat. Here's another view from the top. Here's the back side, okay? Since I didn't put a white or neutral there for writing, I think I'll put this little one in the back. Now, something I thought of, you know, a lot of times, I mean, when, say for example, like when I was growing up, my mom might have a birthday card for the family to send to our grandma, something like that. And she would have each of us sign our name. There were 5 kids in my family. And mom and dad and the 5 of us kids would each sign our name to the card. I'm thinking, would not would this card not be great for something like that? Maybe if you're, for somebody in your church group or a Bible study group or preschool teacher, all the kids can sign, have a space. If you're sending the card from a family, several people, co-workers, what have you, everybody could find a little space to sign their name. So I thought that would be kind of a fun thing to use this card for. Now I have pulled out, I feel like last year when this So Sentimental bundle came out, I used it like crazy. And with the new annual catalog and then the new holiday catalog, I really haven't touched this. It's still in our annual catalog. It is such a great bundle. I love it, but I haven't used it in a long time. So I pulled it out for today's project. I went ahead and stamped my sentiment with garden green ink on Whisper White and cut it out down to the last bit here. Cut it out with the, what is it, Stitched Sweetly dies, I think it's called. And then I did another one that I cut out of soft suede cardstock to layer. And whoops, I feel like I have something backwards here. I do. See how it is when that happens? There. So this panel you want showing along with your left panel. I think I fold it the opposite way. Okay. Or I suppose it doesn't matter if everything goes, but you'll have more room to put something in the center of your card front. Something that people see before they open up this fabulous fun fold card. Again, it's called a Trifold Shutter card. Trifold Shutter card. Okay, now I think I'm still a little off here, aren't I? There. You know what I need to do? I need to burnish these folds. And that will help me make sure I'm getting them in the right place. There we go. Much better. Okay. How about a little bit of embellishment for this card? Finish it off. Finish it off pretty. I'm going to use this nice off-white gauzy type ribbon. It's part of the Forever Greenery suite. It's a ribbon combo bundle, or combo pack. It has the gold thread and then this pretty, it's just a real lightweight, I suppose, cotton material. It feels like gauze. It's that thin and that light. It feels like medical gauze. But somehow it's just prettier, isn't it? Whoops. And then I'm just going to adhere it to my card front with a glue dot, just one glue dot behind the knot of the bow is just right, just like that. And because I have these laying out here, I thought I'm going to see if these match. These are holiday rhinestones. They were in our holiday catalog last year, and Stampin' Up! Brought them back as a favorite. New catalog favorite. So these are actually in the annual catalog, and there's 5 different colors. So let me see, I'm just going to add a few here. Maybe up here. Just gives it a little bling. Are you with me? Are you into bling? And remember, when we're adding embellishments, we like to work in odd numbers. I don't really like this one right here for some reason. I don't know where I want it. Felt like it was too in line with that one. I guess that's a little better. All right. What do you think? Would somebody like to win this card? What I really want to know is who is going to try to make this trifold shutter card on their own. Any takers? It really is not as hard as what it first appears to be, is it? Especially when you have a good instructor, right? Tooting my own horn, I guess. I hope that's okay. I feel like there was one more announcement. I can't think. I told you about the cards, class to go. I told you about the promotion. Oh, I know. 2 things, really. If you're interested in joining my team, whether just to be a happy shopper enjoying a discount, or if you want to build a business, either way, I welcome everybody. And there is a great starter promotion going on now called the Get and Go promotion. And with that, Stampin' Up! Is giving you 2 additional stamp sets. I can show them to you because I think they're lovely. The first one is the So Much Love stamp set. And then they're also going to give you the Queen Anne's lace stamp set. I think both of these are super versatile. I also love the sentiments in there. And in addition to those 2 free items with your starter kit this month, they're also giving you 16 pre-cut card packs. What that is there's enough cardstock that's already pre-cut for you to make 16 cards, 8 with one of those free stamp sets, and then 8 cards with the other free stamp set. So that's like an additional $42 value on top of what you're already getting for the $99 plus tax and free shipping. So you get to choose $125 of product, and then Stampin' Up! Is giving you that extra $42 in product, and you still just pay $99 plus tax, free shipping. So a great deal. I welcome everybody on my team, whether you just want to enjoy the hobby and get a discount, or if you want to build a business, or if you just want to meet up with friends occasionally to stamp together. We have the whole range of demonstrators on my team. We're very much a sharing, caring group. We like to help each other and support and encourage each other in card making and paper crafting. We have monthly challenges on our private Facebook group so you can win prizes. It's just a whole lot of fun to just be a part of this group where everybody has the same interests as you. So consider that. The last thing I want to tell you is that September 30th is the last day of our current Stampin' Up! Year. And I set some pretty lofty goals for myself this year. One of them being doing Stampin' Up! Full-time now as my full-time job. And then just a few weeks later, coronavirus hit. So that was a little scary, but I just decided this is what I've always wanted to do. I am jumping in. I'm going for it. I'm happy to say that my overall sales are a little bit better than they were the year before. So my business has grown, my team has grown, and I've worked really hard growing my social media presence. and online business, and all that's good. And each time I set a goal and achieve a goal, I set another goal. So I am down to the last big goal I have for the Stampin' Up! Year, and that is to meet a fourth quarter personal sales goal. And right now, with 14 days left in the month, I am about $1,100 away from meeting that goal. So if you can need something or would like to make a Stampin' Up! Purchase this month, I would appreciate it greatly, and you'll help me make that fourth quarter sales goal. And with meeting that goal comes a monetary bonus for myself. And what I would like to do with that bonus is invest it in more of a commercial paper cutter for myself. The cutter I have now is great, and I can cut up to 12 pieces of cardstock at a time. But I have had my eyes set on a paper cutter that will allow me to cut a couple packages of cardstock at a time, which would be so helpful, especially at times like now when I'm preparing lots of classes to go kits, and also kits for my creative escape weekends. I do a great big make and take. They get lots of product, lots of different projects to work on, tutorials, all that. So it would be wonderful for me to be able to invest in this higher grade paper cutter for my business. So if you can help me out with a purchase, I would appreciate it greatly. Or if you know of somebody that is looking for a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to earn their business. All right. So now tell me, who's going to try this card? I see that Kieran is going to. Oh, Patty, you're going to make one tonight. Great. I can't wait. Oh, she screenshotted the directions. So remember, you can always go back and review this video. Once it ends, I share it to this page immediately, so it will stay there always. But if you wanted to take a quick screenshot, here are the directions and dimensions. Of course, when I put it on my blog, it will be typed up and easier to read. All right. Don't forget, if you're watching and you have not commented yet, you need to do so now, because it's time for me to say goodbye. And I will be sending out this beautiful card that we made together tonight. All right, have a great Wednesday evening, and I will see you on Friday on Stampin' Peace VIP group. Until then, be safe, be healthy, stay positive, and do something creative. Bye-bye.